tools to work with. Will this be the chance to bounce back, or will Indonesia continue dominating the lower bracket?
We're going to find out here, ladies and gentlemen. It is match point here. Saudi Arabia trying to hold on, take us to a game 3. Indonesia, we heard them earlier. They want to see the Philippines in the grand final tomorrow. So it starts here. A simple start. Look at the hooks, though, too. This is what we kind of expect Troll. He was putting some pressure there in Indonesia, right? That's typically what Francos are going to do. Troll is going to put himself alongside these buffs, try to slow them down a little bit, right? And at the same time, you can already see kind of the rotations happening here. Super Ken making his way to the jungle.
Okay, now for the progress, having a great jump start here. Eyes on the objective, Super Ken, and also the jungler of Saudi Arabia. Tarzan on level 3, having a very setup now, being stunned here, using that knock-up. Super Ken is now trying to flee here, but now being stunned by a Lark here. Will he able to make that marking damage? Sakandel is trying to be slowed down, connecting the passive, and also Warrior was being picked up. Saudi Arabia looking for an avenue, looking for a mark here to actually have damage onto Indonesia. It still just pokes an exchange of the skill.
And at this point, again, like I'm saying, just deal with these rotations early on. First objective is usually going to be the focus, right? That turtle, when it pops up here in about 10 seconds, is what these teams want to go for, right? So at this point, let's see how it plays out. The big thing is the level 4s, right? Not everybody has it just yet. They're trying to rush to get this level 4. That's why they're putting themselves in the XP lane. They want to grab some of that XP, get these ultimates available for them. Half health now. Both junglers planning themselves where they need to be.
Now, first objective of the game has been offered to the table. Super Ken, but Tarzan secures the objective. Already being placed down. Cerezo, last insanity connection onto Cuffin and Troll, going to back away. Penalty zone onto 3. Moreno secures False Blood, and Sandy as well, taking down 1. Cerezo falls down, a trade, but the objective goes to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so Turtle secured here for Saudi Arabia. Great start. This is what we were saying Tarzan had to do, right? Lock down those objectives and start the snowball effect. Also on top of it, the kill went to Sanji. Across the board, Moreno got theirs for Indonesia. You can see it here in the replay. Great last insanity. Penalty zone for the answer, though. Great job collapsing down on that setup that was planned by Indonesia. So, with that, both quality kills for 2 different roles on these 2 teams right now. But how can they utilize that? Moreno having the early kill is going to be crucial as he scales in. Troll, though, might have been off a little more than he could chew. Flickers out here.
Taking damage there, being forced to retreat back. Super Ken using the Tortoise Poissons, trying to speed up, trying to chase down 1, but Troll used out a resource. No combo of surprise just yet for 89 seconds. Meanwhile, up top, Cerezo has half HP. Still has a bit of frag armor left. The poke potential right now of just having, oh, that was so close. Impure Rage onto this export is so effective on early game.
Yeah, a lot of poke potential, right, for the most part, but same thing can be said here. Okay, Super Ken looking to make a play.
Oh, speaking of play here, being trapped, Troll can't do much. Tarzan don't need to fall back there. Damage, Vin tries to poke down another one from Saudi Arabia, but Saudi will now be forced to go back on their own turret. Utilizing this early game capital, Saka now is on level 6. Utilizing the waves, utilizing the clears. Still a great start though.
Tough. Moreno now, 2 kills in his favor, right? Going to be working on more. They're pushing Cuffin back here though. Not going to be able to get a kill, but that's what I'm saying, man. Two kills early on. Your mid laner for Indonesia is going to be great, especially as they set up for these fights. It's going to be even harder now for Saudi Arabia to contest these, and that's why they got to rely. Troll, if he can find a hook. They're down some numbers here. Less than half health of the turtle.
3 versus 4 versus
Tarzan
4.
Gets it.
Tarzan completely saying that twice. Retribution right on point. A slow game that we're seeing onto the kills, but onto the objective. They know their way through this. This time around, game number 2.
Okay, once again, first item going to be locked in here for Lark. Off to a better start, right? Gold-wise, relatively even in the gold lane. That's crucial. Big pickup, Ice Queen Wand now for Moreno. Going to help slow people down even further. That's why it's a big quality pickup. 2 kills on the board this early on. Makes things devastating to deal with. If you get trapped in the ultimate of Moreno, it's going to be really hard to move around. Lark, on the other hand, like I said, Malefic Roar will allow him to put some of that damage throughput against Indonesia in some of these skirmishes, in some of these team fights, which will really help them, hopefully, gain some advantage here. And once again, paired with Troll running the focusing mark emblem, getting that extra percentage damage will help if he's landing the hooks. Like that, not the way you want to go about it, right? Now the Iron Hook's down, here's the response from Indonesia.
There's counter go here, resource been used. Indonesia is here to respond, as well as Tarzan. On point on the reinforcement, even to rotation. You're right about the skirmishers, Naisu. Capitalizing on those small mistakes. Turnaround, even in the lead right now in just 6 minutes, almost just 100.
Yeah, I mean economy-wise, it's fine, right? Still pretty much even across the board for the most part. Both teams going a little bit more cautious in terms of this game too. It's also just kind of hard to deal with because, again, Vin providing a ton of vision, you know, on this roam Novaria. It's a great thing about it. All he has to really do is provide vision, poke down if he can, relatively just play around the rotations of your jungler, right? Follow Super Ken around, wait for that next turtle to come up in a couple seconds. That's what they're doing. But I will say, Tarzan's relatively doing a great job. He's evening out with Super Ken. They're going to battle it out once again for this
Sanji
turtle. Let's see if he can secure
on
it.
Super Ken, trying to slow him down. But just by looking at this positioning, Indonesia has an advantage. Meanwhile, all ultimates are up though. Looking for a chance here. That is the ultimate being laid down onto this turtle. Now who's going to get this first objective? The Stars and securing another one for Saudi Arabia. Ultimate being placed down. Super Ken now being trapped in the wall. Tarzan missed a base strike right onto Super Ken. But this time around, Indonesia completely looking.
Wow.
Still sustaining. Coffin still lives. Now this time around, immortality has been popped there. Chorizo though, going to fall back in his own lane. 2-member down, but still, Saudi Arabia rises to the occasion, stealing another objective against Indonesia.
That was like clutch, but at the same time, you're wondering, Cuffin, did he intend to do that, right? He dropped his own real-world manipulation after taking it from Moreno, slowed them down a little bit, flickered. I'm not sure if that's exactly where he wanted to go, but he ended up surviving. So great play there, Cuffin, able to survive. Not only that, but Tarzan securing the third turtle of the game. This is what we were saying before the draft, man. He's got to do that. What he did against the Philippines, he's doing it here. Off to a great start, keeping the economy in the early game even. Yeah, there's a couple more kills here for Indonesia. Now they're going to get some space advantage to work around with. So it's up to Saudi Arabia, right? Do they want to find their own pickoff? They have the tools for it. It's got to come from Troll here. Leading into that first Lord, crucial, right? If they lose a big skirmish or even a team fight in the next minute or two, that's the mid-game transition we have been constantly talking about from their match with the Philippines and now here for Indonesia. They have to be able to get this transition down. Don't die. If you can get a pick off here, best thing that can happen for Saudi Arabia. Or just wait, stall it out. Wait for that Lord to come up in less than 20 seconds. Fight it out and hope that you can come out on top of that team fight, right? That's what you have to do for Saudi Arabia. What we saw from them in the previous matchup was usually at this point in time losing a member, right? And then they're really in no contention for the Lord, which comes up here in just a few seconds. So right now, Saudi Arabia is taking the more passive route. This is better. They're building up their items here. At the same time, Lark is where he needs to be on this Brody, keeping it pretty even Stevens with the opposing gold laner here for Sakin. All he has is a BOD, right? So your damage is there for Saudi Arabia. They should be able to hold this together, if not win this fight. And it's up to Tarzan once again to get this retribution off. He's 3 for 3 on the turtles. Can he do it for the Lord?
Missed the hook onto Moreno though. Used one hook. Saudi Arabia has now used a resource out of this kind of team fight. Meanwhile, Indonesia is just poking out the Lord half on HP, revealing so much.
Look at the pokes.
That's the poke now. Chorizo is using the last insanity on the Troll. Boosting the damage though, they're still deflecting it now. He's going to force to retreat back. Sakin takes down Sanji. One more member down for Saudi Arabia. How are they still doing it? Sakin as well with a follow-up. Indonesia looking eye for this objective.
Come down to the retreat.
Still holding down. Sakin being trapped in RWM. Still maintaining through the fight defensively. Still winning their first objective. Indonesia slowly bouncing back.
The ball was there for Saudi Arabia. They dropped it, and now Indonesia will punish. They got that Lord, they got a couple kills. You already see it in the gold difference now. They built it up, right? 3K ahead nearly, and at this point, once again, it's getting tough. Sakin only had the BOD for a while. He picked up his next item here, and now they play around this kind of power spike, right? They have spiked in the right department on their carries. They're going to go ahead and push in these tier 2 turrets. Lord is going down on the bottom lane. So all Indonesia has to do is kind of even out these waves a little bit, get prepped up and ready for it. Now Troll, on the other hand, is going to be crucial. Can he land the hook? If not Troll, then let Sanji. Look at that. That's it right there.
That's
but
the
it's
combo.
Super Ken.
But the follow-up wasn't there. Bloody Hunt was not even used as the moment.
Man.
Super Ken, look at the poke. Another one goes down. Tarzan in the hands of Vin. Now on to the roll. What a flicker with the combo. That's the Bloody Hunt on to Cerezo.
Nice.
Still managed to skirt Sanji with a 3-man penalty zone right on the back. Still maintaining that spell vamp working through. Sakendo taking down 1, 3, and 4 members here of Indonesia present. Counting on 5 and present. Tower now being taken down. Lark as well receiving damage. Bursted down by Moreno. 4-0-3 on a roll. Last Insanity being used out into the base of Saudi Arabia. Wow, 2 turrets left. 2 turrets left for this country to hold. You look at the poke. And just as that, Indonesia having the right targets, but Troll landing now. The hooks that we've been waiting for since the first game.
So as I was saying, Saudi Arabia, they had to get that. They had to land this mid-game to late-game transition. They haven't been able to do it. So now you're working from this deficit. Is it completely out of the game? Not yet, right? Again, we've seen games flip over, 10,000 gold difference here. But ultimately it comes down to they have the follow-up they need. Tarzan getting whittled down.
Look at that Void Crystal slowing him down. Sakin finally securing another kill. Tarzan with a 3rd time falling down. And this marksman, Beatrix, a 4-0-2. Still remaining deathless. Indonesia, 25 seconds for this objective to show. This is the Lord. They're going to have a push here. There's only 1 point. There's none towers or no turrets have been taken out of Indonesia just yet. Just 2 up top and down bottom.
Yeah, so they got a little space to work with. Even given the situation that like Lark was in earlier, what I was saying is, you know, he had some of the items he needed, but unfortunately for him, on a hero that has performed so well even just today alone, hasn't been able to utilize this Brody pick just yet. And remember, I asked you during the draft here, OSX, was the Franco worth it? Picking it up, first pick on the blue side. Right now, it's not turning out to be what it is. They find the lockdown.
What is the answer? Sanji penalty zone onto 1. Moreno finally falls down. Lark finally getting a kill. Cerezo though, last Insanity onto Kelvin. Now they're forcing a retreat back. Sakin now remaining unstoppable, making another kill. 1 more. That's a double for Sakin. Indonesia now marching in pursuit. Taking down Kelvin, now falling down low. Still managed to survive, using that Turtle's Puissance for safety. Still, 3 members still left.
Okay, this could be a push they're looking for. Like you saw, they're still waiting. They're gonna line up a couple shots here, waiting to buy some time. The Lord now spawning, making its way down the bottom because that inhibitor turret is down there for Saudi Arabia. Now the eye's set for Indonesia to take these resources, get reset, get ready to go, and possibly end the game here. At the 14-minute mark, as this Lord makes its way down the bottom portion, you can see Indonesia getting prepped and ready. The rest of that wave was pushed in and handled, timing it correctly. Vin now making his way for the team. Expect some astral recalls to be sent out to whittle down the forces of Saudi Arabia. They've got to deal with the Lord first and hold on to the turrets if they can. It looks like they're able to do that. Now as the waves push in here, Indonesia once again on the decision. Do we press this? Do we press this situation? They do.
Coffin now is being forced back to regen. Cerezo though, eyeing on Tarzan, half HP. It's still going through damage, still feeling through those defenses now, dropping down the turrets. Minions pushing in. Indonesia now is trying to climb back their way. Still remaining, still holding the defense. Saudi Arabia clearing up minions, clearing up waves. Still looking forward to live another minute.
They buy time, yes, they do that OSX here, but now once again, base fully exposed. And it looks like Indonesia still wants to plant themselves here. They might even press the go again, even without waiting for the next Lord. They want to go for it. Surizo.
Surizo with the last Insanity, will it connect? Will it translate to damage? Sargent now still holding, their shield is up. Void Crystal is down. Still maintaining this. Okay, Wind of Nature. Pick up by Lark.
Wind of Nature being picked up here. Another defensive item is what they need. They're still working from this deficit. 7,000 gold, right? Lord's going to come up here in about 30 seconds. I just don't think they can contest it. It's better off Saudi Arabia decides to just be on the defensive, wait in their base, unless they find an amazing angle to come through with a concealed play from Troll, looking for a hook. Again, priority picked, this Franco was in the draft, and it has not resulted into what they've wanted to take us to a Game 3, and Indonesia knows this. They wait patiently for that Lord to come up here. They plant themselves in all these possible angles that Troll could look for. It's getting even harder for them to find a moment. They're spotted out immediately.
Super Ken
wow.
trying to roll in. Lark now being bursted down by Surizo, trying to take Troll down, use to conceal, going back for a defense. Oh, one member down, no damage, no marksman for Saudi Arabia. A clear window, opportunity for this Lord to be taken by Indonesia.
Okay, without luck, there's not. Now the question about can they contest it is completely out of the window. They're not going to be able to do that. And just for safekeeping, Surizo's going to plant himself in the jungle so that Tarzan does not have an opportunity to take this Lord. And this could very well be it. Securing this third Lord of the game, Indonesia, primed and ready to clear these lanes out and get ready for the assault on the base of Saudi Arabia. What are the chances of Saudi Arabia holding on a little bit longer, 17 minutes in the game with this big of a deficit? It's slim, but not impossible. Biggest thing is how do you react to this setup, what they're gonna do. Surizo is gonna be the main man to press this situation for Indonesia. They've gotta avoid as much as possible some of that last Insanity. They've gotta avoid some of the poke from Vin, now picking up an Ice Queen Wand. And with this Lord, they have to get rid of it as soon as possible. It cannot get to the crystal, the base here. And here you go.
That's the poke. Lark achieves damage, almost
Lark's
dropping
in trouble.
down. Last Insanity onto Surizo, secures the point. Another one falls down. Lark is down as well. Indonesia's right onto the base. This is their only way to secure their way back up in the grand finals. Now onto the damage. They're looking for Troll. None other than the tank of Saudi Arabia falls down in the base. The void and the crystal is gone. Indonesia's finally given away to climb back in the grand finals.